Hey guys, it is Homebrew Wednesday, and it is time to do my black IPA that I promised you guys I was going to do. So let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Alright guys, so right here we have 7 pounds of pale, 2-row, 1.5 pounds of Munich, 1 pound of caramel 40, and right here we have 1 pound of black malt. We got Citra. This is going to be a dry hop, and I'll probably put this Cascade into a dry hop as well, and I'll split this Centennial up into two 1/2 ounce portions. That way I'll put one at the 60-minute boil, then one at the 30-minute boil, and at the end I'll drop another Citra at the shut off or the flame out, guys. I don't know yet exactly how I'm going to work this. I may use half of this at flame out and the other half at dry hop. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I'll go ahead and put everything inside a Beersmith and see exactly what I come out with. The 1 pound of black malts, I don't really want a ton of roasty, coffee, chocolatey flavors into this black IPA, guys. So I will be adding this in the last probably 20 minutes of the mash. We'll see when we get there. Anyways, guys, I will see you shortly. Alright guys, so it is brew day. And since I am brewing an all grain, guys, I'm bringing out the big guns here. It's my big, I believe it's a 8-gallon pot. And this is the first time that I've actually brewed an actual all grain in the new house. My wife doesn't like the smell of it and she doesn't appreciate it. So I kind of have to work around this. She said that I could do it as long as she was not awake. She is taking her midday nap with the little girl, so I'm going to go ahead and brew this thing while I got a chance. That way by the time she gets up it'll all be aerated out. And this here will actually be sitting inside with a bathtub cooling off by the time she gets up. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with water, guys, like any other time. I'm going to get it to around 6.5 gallons, somewhere around there, guys. Then let the grains steep inside. I will be doing a brew in the bag, as usual, guys. I don't really have all the equipment to do anything else. It will be a brew in a bag black IPA that I put together myself. And guys, don't forget, you can't do a brew unless you drink a brew. I am drinking my home-brewed red wine. Got a little chill haze going on there, but she is mighty fine. Alright guys, so we got the water level where we need it at. It's about 5.5, 6 gallons, somewhere around there. The water temperature is around 131 right now. We need to get it up to about 160, 165. Just want to bring the mash temperature up. That way when I put the grains in there, when the grains go in, it'll actually drop the temperature a little bit. And I want to mash this out between 150 and 152 for about an hour. And I'm going to go ahead and get this here heated up to 160, 165, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're sitting at 161 degrees right now. I'm going to go ahead and start dumping in the grains and stirring them in. If it gets to where the temperature is too low for where I want it to be, I would just go ahead and heat it back up until it is at the desired temperature. So let's go ahead and start dumping in grains. Dump in about 1/4 to half, and then stir it up to make sure that it's mixed in quite well. And you want to turn off your heat for now too, because if you don't, you could actually scorch the bottom. I don't have a false bottom in here, so there's always a possibility you could scorch it. So it's always good to turn the heat off before you do this. Oh man, it smells so good. If I wasn't on a ketogenic diet, I would probably pour me a bowl and eat it. But I gotta save this kind of stuff for the weekend on my cheat day refeed days. So I drink all that I want on the weekend, and during the week I eat pretty much no carbohydrates whatsoever. and on the weekend I just indulge in carbs. I lower my fats to 30 grams or below, and then I raise my carbs to about 200 grams. Let's go ahead and put this in here and see what the temperature is here again. Be nice if it's right at 150 or 152, because that's pretty much where I want it at, between 150 and 152. It is exactly at 150.8. So we're gonna go ahead and cover this up, set the timer, leave it there for an hour, come back and check on it periodically to make sure the temperature is close to the same. I don't really have any issues with this particular pot, because for some reason it holds the heat really well. So anyways, I'm going to set the timer for 60 minutes and I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, we are at the last 25 minutes of the mash. The temperature is still sitting really sitting at 150. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump these here black malts in here. I'm going to go ahead and dump the entire pound in here, guys. I want this thing black, but this will help reduce. Doing it this late in the mash will help reduce a lot of the coffee and the chocolate flavors. But we'll go ahead and get this here all mixed up. Oh man, it smells so good already. Oh my gosh. It smells really good, guys. Going to check the temperature after dropping this here in there. Make sure it's still sitting at 150. If it's not, we're going to heat her back up for a minute. Alright guys, we're sitting at 149, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat on just for a minute, just to get the bottom of this heated up, and that'll help heat up the entire thing. And then I'll shut it back off really quick and let it set for another 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Okay guys, I went in there and checked on Beersmith, and something just wasn't coming up right. I was like, man, why is this thing only coming out to around 39 IBU? I was like, this thing should be coming out to around at least 60 or around 60. Well, I found out, and I forgot, I had another set of Centennial hops in there that was stuck behind a box. And I guess it got stuck back behind there, guys, and I had to go in there and dig and search for it. So now we got it up to about 60 IBU, guys, and that's exactly where I want it to be at. Alright, so this thing is down in this last 2 minutes, guys. It is ready to pull out, so I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to drain it with my strainer. I'll set the bag right on top of the strainer, and all the wort will drip out of that for a few minutes. And after I'm done doing that, I'm going to get some heated up water. I'm going to take that heated water and I'm going to rinse that bag of grains out until I'm up to the level of wort that I want to be in this pot, which is about 5.5 gallons, guys. I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, so we are just now starting to get it to boil. It hasn't started boiling yet, but it will be soon. I want you to see exactly how deep and rich the color is of this. Watch this real quick. You see how dark, deep, and rich color that is? Isn't that beautiful, guys? So we'll go ahead and keep stirring this until it gets to where it has started to boil, and then I will be adding my first hop infusion, which will be a full 1 ounce of Centennial, and that will be the 60-minute boil. Okay guys, this thing finally started its boil. It's got a super thick coating of foam on top of it right now. You really can't see any except for right here where it's broke out at. But I'm going to go ahead and add 1 full ounce of Centennial hops. And I'm just going to dump it in here, guys. I'm not going to use the muslin bag. Didn't see no point in using the muslin bag. Uh-oh. Did not see any point in using the muslin bag at this time, because I'm going to have to strain it out with the strainer anyway. So might as well just dump it in here and just get it all out in the end. I'm going to keep stirring this, and I will be back in about 45 minutes when I add the next hops, or the next 15 minutes. I decided to wait the last 30 minutes to add the next set of Centennial hops. I'm not going to add the Cascade at the end of this boil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save the full 1 ounce of Cascade for the dry hopping in the secondary. So what I'm going to do is I saved half of the Centennial for the 30 minutes of the boil, and I saved the other half of the other Centennial for flame out to go along with the Citra. This way it'll still come out to around 60 IBUs, guys, and I'll have a full ounce of Cascade in the secondary when I am dry hopping along with the other ounce of Citra. So we're going to go ahead and add the next set of Centennial hops in there right now. And I'll be back shortly. At around 15 minutes of the boil, I'll be dropping some Irish moss or some Werflock in there, and then we'll be putting in the flame out hops. Okay guys, so we are at the last of the boil. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off, and I am going to drop in 1 ounce of Citra hops, guys. And I'll drop in a ½ an ounce of Centennial. And I'm going to remove it from the heat and keep stirring. I'm going to stir it just for a few minutes, then I'm going to take it, I'm going to stick it in the bathtub and let it cool. I really wish I had a wort chiller, but I don't, guys, so that's the cheapest way that I can do it for now. I have to spend my money on other things besides a wort chiller. It would be nice to have one, but I can't afford one at the moment. In the near future, though. Anyways, I'm going to get off of here, go throw this in the bathtub, and I'll be back in a couple hours. Guys, as usual, make sure all of your equipment has been sanitized and ready for fermentation. Everything. Alright guys, excuse my old cut off bag and sagging clothes. Okay, the wort has cooled off enough that it's time to pour it into the fermenter. We'll strain it out with this here strainer. Look how beautiful dark that is. Oh my gosh. And it smells so good, guys. Whoops. Spilled a little bit there. Of course, you got to use this here spoon to scoop away the hops so this stuff will finally go through all the hops and the drudge that's in the bottom of that. There are a lot of hops in there. Let's see where we're sitting at. We're sitting at just a hair under 5 gallons, guys. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull me off some of this, and because it's to the cool enough temperature, and I'm going to see what the possible ABV is on this. If it's between 5 and 6, which is where I want it, I'll go ahead and throw some more water in there to top it off. If it's under 5, then I'm going to leave it where it's at. And again, everything has been sanitized. Look how beautiful that color there is, guys. Very, very dark. Which is what I'm looking for. It is sitting, I think, almost exactly where I want it at, 1.051. Let's see what that comes up to. That's 5.3, almost 5.5% ABV ability. Guys, so I'm going to go ahead and dump another little bit of water in there and then check this again. This has been sanitized, so it doesn't matter if it goes back in there. Alright guys, I topped it off to 5 gallons. Now we're going to check the ABV possibility again, or the original gravity. I'm going to have to let this foam subside. Alright guys, it's went down some, so we're going to go ahead and check it again. Whoa! Went a little bit overboard there. Hold on. 1.047. Let's find out what that comes out to, guys. It comes out to almost 4.9%, guys. That'll be perfectly fine. We're good with that. It's pretty much where I wanted it at. I wanted it at 5 anyway, but that's close enough. So we're going to go ahead and pitch the yeast after I dump this here in there. We're going to go ahead and pitch the yeast and close her up and send her on her way for about a month. I'm going to let it sit in the primary for 2 weeks and then the secondary for 2 weeks, and then I'll be ready to go, guys. And you pretty much just sprinkle this out here just like any other time. You put your lid on the opposite side that your handle's on. And then you have your airlock. You throw it on there. And you take it to your warm, dark place and let her do her thing. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is my very first black IPA, guys. I've made IPAs in the past through somebody else's kits, Northern Brewer in specific. However, this is my very first IPA, my very own recipe that I came up with after doing a lot of research. So hopefully it turns out quite nicely. I chose USO5 yeast because it ferments usually all the way for an ale, and it also ferments really clean, guys. I didn't want any off flavors in this. I took and put the black malts in the wort the last 30 minutes of the mash. That way a lot of the it'll keep a lot of the coffee and chocolate bitters and stuff out of the wort. That way it'll come up tasting a little bit cleaner in the end game. Especially, that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen, guys. It's trial and error. This is my first one. Every one is not going to be a success, but every one has been, just about so far, has been a good beer. Except for the Muntins. It's not a bad beer. It's just not something that I was wanting. It's more bockish. But anyways, we're talking about the black IPA, guys. Now in 2 weeks, I will be sending this off into a secondary. And in that secondary, I will drop the whole ounce of Cascade and an ounce of Citra hops. And it will sit in there for 2 weeks. And then after that 2 weeks, I will take it out and throw it in a bottle. Guys, I will not invite you for an update on adding hops to the dry hopping and secondary, because it's just going to be a quick exchange. It's not something that I feel that I need to show, but just know that it's going to happen and know that the bottling is going to happen. However, I will be inviting you for a taste test and a review on my black IPA. And I may even choose somebody to send one to after it's done as well. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one, and keep brewing.